my name's Alyssa and you're joining us on the Aquarium of Niagara's Facebook Live for today. Today we're talking about aliens of the sea, which is all things jellyfish. Now, before you start watching us, why don't you take a look at our website to see any fun activities that'll be lined up for you before, during, or after, whichever you prefer. But I figured we'd start off in the public side of things today so you can see what you normally would during the day. So we'll head over this way. And right now you're entering sea nettles and some cold water moons. Now these sea nettles, like I said, they're from the Pacific. They're one of our larger species of jellies that we have here. They have those really long, bright red tentacles. That's what will sting you. And then those white, curly oral arms coming out of the middle of their bell. Now these guys are on the younger side. They're about 1.5 years old right now. They'll probably get to about 3 or 4 years of age until we have to replace them with some new ones. So they're pretty strong right now. Now you do see that they are up brain or anything, so they just really consist of a very simple nerve net. And that nerve net helps them detect movement in the water, any changes, pressure changes, so they can kind of control where they go, but not really. The water really controls their movement. So flow is a very, very important part of keeping jellyfish alive. Like I said, keep them up off the bottom, away from each other, off the surface, and you're good to go. Now these jellies are the one that packs the worst sting, in my opinion, out of the 4 species that we do have here at the aquarium. Like I said, those bright red long tentacles on them, that's what's gonna sting you. And if you saw my jelly Facebook Live a couple weeks ago, I talked about how the sting actually does hurt quite a bit from these guys. Just use regular white vinegar to help with the jellyfish sting. Please don't pee on your leg or wherever you get stung. Vinegar does the trick for you. These are my favorite nettles. I should say favorite jellies of all time. Water moons. Now these guys have a very short life cycle, unfortunately. They get to about 1 year until we have to replace them. But as you can see, these all look really different. Believe it or not, they have a lot of differences in them. There's those 4-leaf clover looking things at the top of their bell. That's actually their stomachs. And as you can see, they're pretty bright red, almost look like they're glowing. That means that they're full of the food that I fed them earlier. Sting, let me rephrase that. They do sting, but it does not hurt you whatsoever. Just like everybody reacts differently to some things, these guys don't really cause any harm to us. These are a little on the small side right now. These cold water moons can get to about the size of a dinner plate. In this cylinder, you'll see a little bit bigger ones in here. These are my older specimens. They're coming up on about 8 months of age right now. So in about 4 or 5 months, I might need to start replacing them. And how do you know if a jellyfish is dying? Well, if you just start to see it shrink a little bit and get smaller and smaller over time, even though you're feeding it, that's how you can kind of tell that your jelly is on its way out and you need to replace it. Another cool anomaly of jellies is their gastric cavities sometimes form different shapes. Different shapes. That one's got a nice heart in it. So I can tell the difference between certain moons around here. There's some that don't have to have just 4 gastric cavities. They can have 6 or 7. And we do have a couple in here that show that as well. They're pretty relaxing to watch, believe it or not. Now something else I want to throw out, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to write into us and we can answer them along as we go.
And real quick, just to clarify their lifespan.
Right, so the moon's lifespan is right around 1 year. Sometimes you can get them to live a little longer if you lower your water temperature for these cold water moons, but right around an average of 1 year. So you'll start to see them shrinking right around 9 months to 10 months of age, and that's when you kind of know that you need to start really making some more to repopulate our cylinders up here. Now we do have a 3rd cylinder. Unfortunately it's empty, but it did hold Australian spotted jellyfish. So Australian spotted jellyfish, they only live about 6 months. So since we were closed to our lovely pandemic, we decided that we weren't going to bring any more in right now until we reopen because they have such a short lifespan. No need to put the jellyfish through that. So right now this cylinder is empty, but you'll have to come back when we open with new jellies. On to our 4th species are, believe it or not, the upside down jellies. So you are looking at the technically bottom of the jellyfish and they lay on top of their bells on a sandy substrate. Now these upside down jellies, you'll find them in a lot of mangroves, a lot of shallow water that has really, really bright sun. All right, so these jellies are nicely lit because I have crazy LED lights behind this tank to help them grow. If you guys know anything about plants, plants are photosynthetic, which means they absorb sun and use that to make energy for themselves, or food pretty much. Same with upside down jellyfish. They use that bright sunlight to grow. They also do eat that live brine though, so they get both that natural sun and the live brine. Now these jellyfish, they do sting pretty well. If you stir them up and make them move, they don't care for that, so they will release some of those nematocysts out into the water, and it will hurt, but definitely not as much as those nettles down there. You see I do have some fish in this tank as well, just so there's a little more activity for you guys when you come and see our exhibit. So it makes it a little more naturalistic, because these guys are found, like I said, in shallow waters. You know, there's lots of other things in shallow waters. You got all your fish, any crustaceans in there too. So this is my public gallery of Aliens of the Sea. I thought it would be kind of cool to show you what it looks like completely lit up, because everything's 100% crystal clear for you guys. So I'm going to turn the really big bright lights on, and you'll see how I get up into the tanks and feed them and clean them and all that. So come on this way. And we'll be able to get to going. That's pretty cool. Nice and bright so I can see what I'm doing. Here's the crazy thing. These moons are clear. When you first saw them on our feed right now, they were purple. That's just because I bright light on top of the tank to change their colors. So say it was Valentine's Day, we can make all the tanks red in here, and then you'd have red moons. But normally they're clear like you see here. Now I'm going to cut in front, sorry. So on the top of the cylinders, I've got two lids that just unfold. So I can just slide them off, just like that. And then I can just pour some food down in the top and every single day I clean all of the algae on the acrylic and the bottom of the tank. That's because the jellies will actually get stuck to the tank. So if you see that jelly right there, he's kind of suctioned to the bottom of the tank. I'll go in there after our feed and pull them on up. That's because there's probably just a slight biofilm on the tank itself to where things can stick to it really easily. So every day I'll come in, clean all the sides and the walls of all three cylinders and get it so it's nice and healthy for the animals. The dome, I'll clean the glass every day, and with the nettles here, I'll clean their glass every day as well too. So believe it or not, these are some pretty simple animals that need a lot of work to take care of them. But it's fun, it's so learning. So I want to take you into the fun parts now, which I love to tinker with, and that's our life support room. So we'll start back here in the sea nettle one. I'm going to give you guys a lot of information right now, and I want you to ask any questions that you want. Okay, we'll answer them to the best of our ability. So this is the sea nettle life support room. Now life support pretty much means anything needed to keep your animal healthy and well while under human care. Okay, so we use a couple different forms of filtration back here. We've got some biological, chemical, and mechanical, as well as germicidal. So let me go through those real quick. We've got some filter socks. They're also known as filter bags. It's literally just a sock, not like the one you put on your feet, but just a little bag that catches the water coming from the tank itself. And it's catching any debris or live brine or any gross stuff that you don't want your jellies to interfere with. So that'll catch there, full of little tiny medias that can hold bacteria to live on. So that's our biological. We've got a sink, of course, because we got to rinse off everything that we touch or use to make sure we don't cross-contaminate. And then we have a bottle of vinegar called my jelly sting vinegar. Like I said, use vinegar for any jelly stings wherever you're affected, on your arm or your leg, and that can help alleviate that sting. Any questions back here before we move on to the life support room? All right, we're going to head over to the big one. The big one's a little loud, so I'm going to try and talk as loud as I can for you guys. This one's got practically the same setup as over in our sea nettle backup, just a little more because all of our cylinders and the dome tank come out of this backup. So here it is. This is where I work all day. Got a bunch of the different systems, just like the ones you saw in the sea nettle backup. And each one is labeled accordingly to the system it works off of. So remember how with the upside down jellies I was telling you they needed really bright light to be able to grow? Those are the lights. So I have 2 Kessels and a plasma light up there as well. Now over here, this is how I make up the clean water needed for the jellies. It all starts from this crazy mess right here. And this is an RO unit, or a reverse osmosis unit. And that makes the water just really clean, and there's nothing bad at all in it for the jellies because they're so sensitive. So once this machine gets running, it fills up this 200-gallon reservoir I had. See the RO there? Reverse osmosis. Once this is full, I pump it over into this reservoir, another 200 gallons, and now I add salt to it. So you know how it says RO salt water? That means it's reverse osmosis with salt. And the salt is right there in those bags. That's all salt. And that's just instant ocean. I make it to a certain salinity that the jellies thrive in, and then I can use it to do water changes. So like I said, same exact setup as our sea nettles. We have the bio tower here, your filtration, mechanical filtration, and we've got another UV sterilizer over here. Same with this system. Same with this. Each one has a chiller just in case I need to chill the tanks. We also have a room chiller because that's always nice to have it nice and cool in here. All of these pumps that you see, these are 2 pumps. Here's another system with 2 pumps. And then the chillers themselves, they all put off a ton of heat. So really we have to control the heat in here as well as control the heat or temperature of the water. Now I have Cheryl coming in and asking, how often do you do this? I'm sorry, I just don't understand completely, but if you're referring to how often I clean the systems, they are cleaned once daily, and water changes are done every 7 days. So this is pretty much just the whole inside of the room. Like I said, I know it's a lot, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And don't forget to check out our website right after to see what fun activities we have lined up for you in accordance with Aliens of the Sea. But I'm going to take off, get on with the rest of my day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
Get an extra sneak peek today